If you decorate industrial products with pad printing or hot stamp, try Fusion Transfer.
And the cool thing is I can run full color for the price of one color.
Welcome to C-Digital. We're the image transfer experts.
If you decorate products with logos and graphics, you worry about color and consistency, not to mention drying time, especially on a production line. We have a better solution. Welcome to C-Digital Image Fusion. Now, you can lock your image in place with our dry, eco-friendly toners, as we fuse your image to your product with custom adhesives and protective coatings. Some call it heat transfer, but we call it a smarter way to decorate.
Well, we got 25 years of experience, and the customers appreciate that we can stick to their parts, and they bring us interesting jobs and go, oh yeah, the guys at C-Digital, they'll sort it out. Let's go to those guys first because they're usually the best.
In many ways, while it's a traditional heat transfer methodology, our particular application we call fusion technology.
Because Fusion Transfer is the heat transfer for manufacturing. And it's the fusion process that makes it durable, pass the tape test, the scratch test, and last forever.
The advantage of our heat transfers is you can have film or you can have wax transfer, both printed digitally.
This is the best way to get low volume color images on products.
So most people think that a transfer is just an image that's put on a piece of paper and it transfers onto the product. And while that's true, we're a bit more complicated.
We make sure that your image sticks, so we have to match the adhesive and film type to your material. We have 9 different proprietary film types and we have 37 different adhesives, all of which have been developed over the last 25 years. Some of them are chemical resistant, some of them are freer release than others, some of them are matte finish. There's different properties for each one of the coatings for the film, but they're all on a base polyester.
So we've developed a lot of systems that can get us onto paper, polycarbonate, painted metal, ceramics. This is an example of our glass processes. In our process, it's really the no label look label. It's seamless. You can't really find where the art marks are. It's as if it was painted on. Only the art transfers off the film.
Every customer has its own unique specs. For a glass and ceramics guy, he might need to just pass a wipe test. But if it's going through the dishwasher, it needs to go through the dishwasher hundreds of times and still stay there. That's why our chemist constantly is creating coatings that meet the challenge. Again, this tells you why C-Digital is a better choice to supply your heat transfers.
We started decorating CDs and DVDs, which are plastic. We haven't found a plastic yet that we can't get on. We can do labels up to 11.5 inches wide. We can be infinitely long because we're talking about a roll.
And we like to say it's going from pixels to permanent with our Evercolor toner.
It's a fine powder toner, not an ink. So there's no solvents, there's no mess, no cleanups.
It's instant fusion, so there's no drying time and no cleanup of messy solvents.
Another benefit about heat transfers is the ability to recycle the part without having to remove the label. The plastic part can be reground, remolded, and the label never has to come off prior to that step.
Fusion Transfer comes in Fusion Film or Fusion Paper.
When you think of digital printing, you think of CMYK, but we add a 5th color, white. The white acts as an underlay to the color so the substrate won't change it, or you can just add white print to your graphics.
And the best part is you get full color plus a solid white for the cost of one.
The value that a Fusion Transfer adds to your part is the professional quality image. It's an actual printed on graphic that's permanent, instant drying, full color, high quality, 1200 DPI. You know that edge you get with a decal or label? We eliminate that. The image is integrated into the surface. It's a process that gets the color flowing with no edge showing.
We call it the no label label.
Every good transfer starts with good art, and these guys make questionable art into wonderful art. In here we can take anything from simple JPEGs, even your mom's Christmas picture, from napkin sketch to final art. Will work with anything. And if you don't have art, we'll create it for you. If you give us an idea, we'll design it. We have 3 full-time artists. We prefer a CMYK 300 DPI file.
With heat transfer, we can do short to large runs from 20 to 20 million. It's also an excellent way to do prototyping and sampling, whether it's plastic, glass, ceramic, metals. We ship most orders in 2 business days.
We're going to be your best friends because we're going to be with you every step of the way through all the iterations, the fast turns. Because if you're working on a prototype within a product development cycle and you need to put an image or art onto that prototype, we can prep, print, and adhere your image onto your actual product as a prototype in just a couple of days. It's a process that needs guidance, and we can provide that guidance.
We can run sequentially numbered images or different images within a roll without making any changes to your equipment and without giving you any extra setup fees, no downtime on your application equipment, no cleanup. Say you want a specific PMS color, but you're uncertain how it'll look in the digital world. We can provide you with your actual artwork sample using one of these machines applied to your part so you can decide if the CMYK is close enough to the PMS color you're looking for.
So this is where all the magic happens, and it starts with one of our 3 Zycon presses. This is a high-speed digital printer. It's the same thing in concept as a big Xerox copier would be. It uses toner. The press does not care how many colors you give it at one time. It prints them all. 1 color, 5 colors, 20 colors, all at once. All of our transfers are printed on the underside of a custom polyester film that we've had developed specifically for C-Digital. It's going up through this set of rollers into a tray of adhesive. It's then going up into a dryer, which is drying the adhesive, and coming back down onto a set of rollers that are setting it up for discharge. As you can see, the artwork here is for this team. The artwork on the other side is for another team, and these will be changing as you go through the run so that you can print multiple colors, multiple images in the same run at the same time. Here it's being wound, and in another operation it will be slit onto the size cores that are needed by our customer to take the image off of our film and put it on their product. So over here we're using our proprietary films. This machine has been purchased just to do wax transfers, and this is the paper film, the wax film that's coming out of the press. Because you're looking for the most inexpensive carrier that you can find.
One of the newest offerings at C-Digital is our wax transfer. It is a transfer printed on wax-coated paper. This is used in the rigid packaging industry, like 5-gallon pails, F-style containers, food packaging, as well as oil cans, antifreeze. The biggest reason people use wax transfers in this process is you get the no-label look. Because the transfer is applied while the part's still warm, it's typically done at an injection molding facility or a blow molding facility where the part comes right out of the mold, the label's applied, and then palletized for filling at a later time.
So coming off this printer now is the wax transfer for a pail. As you can see, it's quite long. In fact, their average is about 1.5 feet. And you can't really make out the graphics because we're printing again on the underside of this film. But the same process is happening. It is going through an adhesive, it's going up into a dryer oven, then it is being rewound, in this case, onto a core that is already slit and ready to be shipped to the customer. So this job will come right off of this machine and go right into the box to be shipped off.
This is our slitting department. This is where we slit the 12-inch wide web down to usable rolls. In this case, a 6-inch wide roll. You yield 2 rolls. We can slit all the way down to 1.5-inch wide rolls.
Fusion transfer is the hot way to decorate industrial products. So if you're a contract manufacturer and your customer wants to mark that part or product with an image or a logo and you don't know where to start, we can help you there.
In order to use heat transfers, we have the application equipment. For example, this one over here will apply the heat and pressure required to transfer the image off the film onto your product. So that's how you get the image transfer from the film carrier or paper carrier onto your product. The customer will either have one of these machines in-house. That way we just ship a roll of film. When they receive the film, they put it on the equipment and start applying images to the part. If they don't have a machine in-house, we can find a contract decorator that will apply the transfers for them, and we source ones that are local to certain regions, cutting back on the shipping of your product back and forth. In a lot of cases, this also can be done right in line with the injection molding machine. So if your injection molder has one of these styles of machines, they can apply the heat transfer as the parts come out of the mold.
So we have a short-term and a long-term solution to help you make more profit and make happier customers. So in the short term, if you want to test this as a value add for your customers, we can help you through our network of decorating suppliers. But in the long run, you want to bring this in-house and offer it as a secondary operation. So what machine are you going to buy? How are you going to do it? How's it going to work? That's why you call us the image transfer experts. Tell you what machinery, what substrate, what toner, how to do the transferring in-house. We're going to hold your hand and walk you through the process.
You know, sometimes heat transfer isn't the best option for you, but we still should talk because we have 55 years of experience in the product imaging transfer business. And we'll guide you in the right direction, whether it's our product or somebody else's. The bottom line is, we want to give you the best answer how to put your image on your part, and there's nobody better to do that than us. Because we are the image transfer experts.